Valliyappan. Please explain the difference between love and attachment. How to deal with attachment. See, if anyone is getting married, I can understand. After many years of marriage, you're asking. Attachment is a perversion of love. It is love plus selfishness equals attachment. A very simple definition, equation. Love plus selfishness equals attachment. Attachment minus selfishness equals love. If you can get this, it's a very easy equation. Love plus selfishness equals attachment. Attachment minus selfishness equals love. Love is a feeling of oneness. It's identification. It's you feel one with the other, not just a person. You may feel one with the nature. See, it is you and the other person are. There's no difference. It's one and the same. It is another person appears a natural extension of you. Natural extension. That is love. And I'm saying that it is. I'll give a simple analogy to explain love. That's my favorite analogy. Imagine you're in the beach, enjoying the sunlight. There's another person, not your partner, someone else, also next the bench. They are also lying and enjoying the sun. And you turn around and say, the sun you're all enjoying is mine. The sun, the sunlight, the sun rays are all mine. If somebody tells you that, what would you do? I don't know. If I were there, I will quickly take my towel and go to some other place and lie down. You enjoy your sun. No. See, sun's rays are meant for one and all. You can bask in the glory of the sun. You can enjoy the presence of the sun. But you can never own the sun. You can cherish the sunlight. You can cherish the presence of the sun. But you can't own the sun. In love, no ownership is allowed. You can cherish the presence of a person. You can relish their conversations. You're there for them, but you are not owning them. You're not owning them. So that's a fundamental difference. The ownership comes with selfishness. Even initially you are relating with the person. Now you want to convert that relating into relationship. That is where the problem happens. There's a philosopher who highlighted, you're taking a walk in the garden. The beautiful roses are there. And fabulous fragrance comes up. And you pluck 2 roses. And what happens after a while? It dies. As long as it was there, it gave you fragrance. The moment you make it your own, it will give the fragrance for a very short period of time and it perishes. It perishes. That's why, therefore, attachment is that. Love is you enjoy the fragrance and leave it at that. Leave it at that. And there are so many flowers to enjoy. And that's why I say, in that case, and this is, we all start, see, let me tell you, we all start in the pure level. There is, you relate with them. But after a while, our mind comes in. It's so nice to talk to her. I love this conversation. And then you want to convert into a relationship. You want to own that person. This is when love plus selfishness becomes attachment. Now you own them. Then what happens? Once it becomes attachment, and when there is a sense of purity, but selfishness comes in. I want more of it. It becomes an attachment. Once it becomes an attachment, whatever they do, whatever they don't do, starts affecting your peace. the way they speak, the way they sit, the way they conduct themselves starts affecting your happiness. That is when you're truly enslaved, they say. When you spend enough time, considerable effort, you spend money, communication, you get attached to the person. That when there is enough time, effort, communication, money spent on another person, you get attached. Attachment is an unintelligent, uninterrupted flow of thoughts from you to an object or a person. That is attachment. Attachment is a natural effect of functioning on your mind. So, so this is attachment. And okay, I'm just going through it, the question. So, how to deal with attachment? Reduce the selfishness. No more ownership. In the words of Khalil Gibran, he says, when it comes to children, they come through you, not from you. They have their own goals. Try to be like them. Do not make them like you, says Khalil Gibran. So a simple aspect of dealing with attachment is drop your selfishness. No more ego. No more ego associated in that relationship. No more selfishness associated in that relationship. Therefore, how do you deal with it? Function on your obligatory duties as a spouse, as a parent, as a son, as a friend, as an employee, or as a citizen. Whatever your obligatory duties are. When I say obligatory duties, what does it mean? Those actions which you're obliged to do with that particular role. There are certain actions which you have to do with reference to that role. Do that 100% and leave it at that. Leave it at that. The Bhagavad Gita highlights in chapter 6, Karyam karma karoti ya sannyasi ya yogi, he says. Whoever does their obligatory duties. Therefore, to drop your selfishness, your ego, whatever your obligatory duties are, as a spouse, as a parent, as a son, as a friend, as a brother, as a citizen, do it to your best and leave it at that. Leave it at that. And once you start doing that way, you have done. That doesn't mean when there's a problem you don't help. You're always there to help. But as a spouse, you have done what you have to do. If there is an issue, you deal with it. Most problems happen when we have missed out on our obligatory duties. Obligatory duties. You may think that I have done my best. Maybe they needed a little more than your best. Maybe it needed a little more than your best. Maybe not. That is why where there is love between two individuals, there's compatibility of values. Where there is attachment between two individuals, it is A is catering to B at the physical level, material level, emotional, intellectual level. The moment they stop catering to the other person, the so-called love they think they are experiencing falls away. It is not that you love others, you love yourself. Anybody catering to you, love them. Anyone catering to you, love them. The moment they stop catering to you, you hate them. So watch out. So number one, love is a feeling of oneness. The other person is a natural extension of you. Wherever there is love, it doesn't need explanation. Wherever a lot of explanation is needed, there is no trust. There is no love as such. So, this is one. Attachment is a perversion of love. Love plus selfishness equals attachment. Attachment minus selfishness equals love. And when you spend enough time, effort, energies, communication, money, unintelligently, uninterruptedly, you develop attachment. And attachment, you are binding yourself to another. When how they function, the way they speak, the way they conduct themselves, the way they dress, the way they eat, everything starts influencing your peace of mind, then you are made yourself dependent on them because you got attached to them. Watch out. Therefore, those people who get attached, get into the negative aspect, they become indifferent. Indifference is not the solution here. You got to drop the selfishness, drop your ego, and function on your obligatory duties. Eventually, you will bring back pure love. And once you do that, it's a beautiful experience, beautiful life as such. So it's not easy, but it is not difficult or impossible. In fact, relationships should be based on love. Should be based on love. But there's a huge misunderstanding of love. Now it is anything. You say, I love Pani Puri. They use so. I love this series, this web series. I love this web series. I love to sleep more. See, we use love for all the ridiculous aspects. Therefore, when somebody says I love him or her, means nothing. It's like, I love that web series. What do you call one web series? I love that series. 48 episodes. We did. I binge watched, as if some great activity you have done. Binge. You saw 30 episodes at one go. I love that series. Because we use love in such a casual manner. When you in relationship also, the casual approaches come. If you see, when you give, there is sanctity to that word love. There is some sanctity to it. So then there's a respect. Where there is love, you function on your duty. Where there is attachment, it is your rights. It is my right to have the right side of the cupboard. It's my right. I am your spouse. Right side belongs to me. Duty. I still remember my father, when he goes to work, he used to tell, I'm going to duty. Duty, he used to say. He has never mentioned, I'm going there, today I'm going to go there and make money. No. He says duty. I used to do, it's all stored in my memory. Duty. How many of us say, I'm going to duty? What? Doesn't ring a bell. So, that is when you love your work. And let me tell you, I love my work. It is never tiresome. It is never difficult. Even if there's difficulty, it's a pleasurable difficulty. It is so. Love is not. It is not a reference to your partner alone. You love your partner. You love your children. You love your work. You love your time. You love your friends. You love your food. You love your sleep. You love your rest, you love your music, you love time with yourself. In fact, you fall in love with yourself. Why should you fall in love with others? So, that's why they say, if you can't enjoy the company of yourself, you're in a very difficult company. If you can't enjoy the company of yourself, you're in a very difficult company. So, love is that. Love is not merely an emotion. It is an expression of how you live your life. It is so when you love life, you're never bored. You're never bored. When you're dependent on others, that's when you get bored. You're dependent on others. So it's not easy to deal with attachment. A simple answer: drop your selfishness, drop your ego, and deal with it. How do you deal with it? Function on your obligatory duties. As a spouse, as a parent, function on your obligatory duties. And keep doing it. When will it become better? I'm not an astrologer to say when it will become better. Keep doing it. There will be peace within you. And eventually, if they have that quality, they will raise them. They will understand it eventually. But it doesn't matter if you keep doing it. No less than a Christ was misunderstood. But still there was love. Still there was love. He was crucified for loving others. Crucified. The beauty of love is, even if you're misunderstood, there is forgiveness. There's forgiveness. Even if you're misunderstood. Where there is attachment, if you're misunderstood, there is vengeance. You will make sure that you will make their life a hell. Where there is love, there is forgiveness, there's compassion, there's kindness. So it's a different life altogether where there is love. A human being alone consciously experiences love. Animals do experience, but it turns out into an attachment. You can't console a pet when the master is no more available. You can't console. Hey, don't worry. No, it will starve itself to death. So watch out. It's a beautiful emotion. And if only you're in love with the so-called creator, if there is a creator, you will understand the amount of benefits you've been given, gifts you're given. There's a story. We're going to, in the Tuesday morning, we're going to, next week onwards, learning some parables. One of the parables, there's this great saint who had nothing with him. He was wearing torn clothes, no mobile, nothing. And Lord Shiva appears before him and he says, I'm so happy with your tapas. I've come here to grant your wish. And to which that saint, he opens his eyes and he says, Lord Shiva, there. And whatever you want, I'm here to grant your wish. He said, my Lord, what is it you have not given me for me to ask? You have given me everything, my Lord. In fact, you have given me so much. The fact was, he was wearing torn clothes. He had nothing, no possessions. He said, my Lord, you have given me so much, my Lord. What is it you have not given me? And then Goddess Parvati, she nudges him. Ask him properly. You don't know how to ask. And then Lord Shiva puts on a strict face and says, look here, your business is to ask and my business is to give. And the saint is helpless. He looks at himself. There's a swelling on his feet. And he looks at the swelling and then looks at Lord Shiva. He said, my Lord, can you shift the swelling from the left foot to the right foot? Can you shift that swelling? It's a disease. No? It's like an elephantitis. Can you shift it from the left foot to the right foot? To which Lord Shiva says, Tatastu, your wish is granted. And leaves. What a beautiful, for me, what a story it is. He said, he didn't even say, can you rectify the disease? Can you shift it from the left to the right? Nadine, it's a level of self-sufficiency. Even if the Almighty comes and asks you, there's nothing to ask. You have given me more than what I need. Self-sufficiency. Love for life. Can you imagine? There is no deficiency in such life. So think about it. Love and attachment. That's love and attachment. You have love. You have everything. When you lack love, you lack everything. The other aspect of trust. I did a lecture on that a couple of years ago. Where there is trust, respect, and faith, it manifests as love. In the world, there is trust, there is respect. Trust and respect together creates faith. And where there is trust and respect and faith, it will manifest as love. If there is a relationship lacks trust, if it lacks respect, if it lacks faith, love is absent in such relationship. Where there is trust, where there is respect meaning not behavior. Trust is what you think is what you say, and what you say is what you do. Trust. What your thoughts, words, and actions are synchronized. Second, when we say respect, you respect others' emotions, others' thoughts. Respect meaning you value their thoughts and emotions. When these two are there, that becomes a cause. Faith is an effect. Because of the trust and respect, there is faith in you. And when there is when trust, respect, and faith becomes a cause, love becomes an effect. Love is that feeling of oneness, togetherness. They are a natural extension of you. It's a beautiful life. And let me tell you, where there is love, and in case something happens to the partner, that level of self-sufficiency experience, you're not looking for another one. But there is a sanctity associated with that relationship, a purity associated. That doesn't mean you are suffering alone. There is a sense of fulfillment. So that is what love and attachment is. You're okay, Valliyappan? You should have asked this question 20 years ago. Anyway.